Did you ever get so deep entangled during like a sting or during an operation or during an undercover where at the end you were like, damn, this is going to be a long day when this bust happens?
Yeah, because it's going to bother you. Yeah.
So and I'm kind of taking us off of base. I'm kind of taking us off of base a little bit.
Off base.
So let's get back. So there was the doxing going on.
Yep. So they did. Some people tagged some stuff, and also during that time we had a base member who went out in Canada. He was Canadian, and he went and put flyers up to try to recruit. And then somebody answered the recruitment. They had to go through the emails like I did. They had to go through a interview panel like I did on audio, on wire. And then they went and had the face-to-face meet. So this guy that got recruited, one of our members who ended up being called Punish Snake, his name is Pat Matthews.
Punish Snake?
Yeah. So Pat Matthews, he changed his name several times, but he was, I think it's the Canadian version of our National Guard kind of, but he was being trained, he was military. He was being trained, and he's the guy. So we get a new member coming in. Hey, welcome, new member, blah, 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 from Canada. I think his name was Mark or something. And he's in the main chat group for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. I don't think it was more than 2 weeks.
And are you in this chat group every day, kind of?
Yeah. Imagine if I wasn't. So I work my job as an FBI agent. I go home. I might have dinner with my family, and then I'm back out on the porch, answering stuff. Or I'm checking in during the day.
Right.
But they also knew I was a...
What's up, fellas? Everybody still racist or whatever?
Yeah,
like shit like
you
that?
You want to go commit some hate crimes? Yeah. But so this Canadian, he meets this guy. This guy gets into the group, and after about a week or so, he comes out. And it turns out that it was a journalist for a paper.
He's gay?
No. He's I guess these days, that's probably what the people are thinking. He was a journalist for a newspaper up there. He went and met Pat on his own. And after about a week or two, they were like, hey, this is too deep. You pull the chocks, write it. So this article comes out, and it's basically doxing Pat. So Pat, the RM's Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, comes to his house, takes his guns. He's booted from the military thing. His parents now hate him. I think he lost his job. And all of a sudden he disappears.
Wow.
His truck is found at the border of Canada and the United States. So we're pretty sure he's here, but we don't know where.
Right.
Eventually we find him, and he ended up being down at my cell. He was renting out one of the horse stalls under the barn, under the residence on that 100-acre property. So I got to go
sleep in there.
Yeah. So I got to go spend a lot of time down there training, and it just got crazier and crazier, man. It was like.
And what kind of stuff were they saying, or like how was it? Just
everything's preparing for the boogaloo, building your kit. I mean, a lot of these kids didn't even have. I say kids. I mean, I was 48. I lied and said I was 44 at the time, because literally there was like one other 40 something. I think Nazaro was 40 something. So the leader was 40 something. There was one other dude that was in his 40s. There might have been 2 30 somethings, and everything else was 20s and teens.
Wow.
A lot of these kids, they didn't have a job. They didn't have a car. They had to borrow a car to come to the training, but they were wearing Crye precision plate carriers. Same thing the FBI SWAT team wears.
Got it.
They're building their kit up, their pistols, their semi-automatic rifles, their ARs or their AKs, and we're coming out and training, man.
Wow.
Moving drills, and it may not be the best, but still, I mean, I was looking at a lot of them going, holy crap, man! If they wanted to take on if they wanted to do something, they're probably going to get the drop on a lot of people.
Right.
That's
scary, dude. It's fascinating to think that goes on.
So once we found Pat, and we had him locked down, so we're like, okay, we feel like we're in control of the situation, because we were finding out more and more stuff. Are they plotting something or they're not? There was inklings of things being whispered and said, and we're, as a case team and an undercover, all the case teams. I mean, at one point we had 100 people on a call once a month. That's how many case teams there were in the United States working this stuff. And it was just kind of like, well, did they mean that? Did they not mean that? You're trying to find out. Are you going to do something bad or are you not?
Yeah.
Are you just talking trash, First Amendment protected, and then you're waiting for the D-Day, and then it's purge?
Yeah.
So we get this all started because you asked about the sacrifice thing. So a lot of these guys believed in the Norse pantheon. So they were claiming pagan, but they're white supremacists. They're not true pagans.
Got it.
They're white supremacists. And we've already had a couple of blots, BLOT. That is the ceremony, the worship ceremony.
Did you ever go to those?
Yeah. And I'd already
Pretty
been.
cool.
Well, I mean, I had to participate. I had to mirror. So I would pray to a God. There were some that we had that had some people leading it that was really, some of them were actually priests in the Asatru family.
Just doing what, side jobs or whatever?
No. I'm just meaning they've obtained the rank to basically be a preacher. They're a priest and they can run a blot. So I'd attended some, and it might be in the middle of the summer, and you go down there and you paint runes on your chest, and we do the whole ceremony, and they'd be like take like a piece of wood and carve some runes in it, which were pagan.
RUNES, yeah.
Yeah, and then it would be but then there would be like swastikas and white supremacy stuff on there too.
Oh, got it.
And then you would cut yourself and bleed on the wood. And then we'd set the wood on fire and pray to our gods until the wood stopped burning. So I was getting in closer.
Yeah.
And then it was just going so fast, Theo. I'll tell you.
Did you ever wake up believing it?
No, not this. No.
Right.
I mean, some of these some of these guys were saying that Hitler's still alive in Hollow Earth.
Yes.
And he's hanging out with 15-foot giant white dudes with red beards, and they're just waiting to come back. And I'm like, for what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, come on back. If you're saying we need to fight right now, what's Hitler waiting on?
Yeah, were they milling around for?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, unless he's waiting for NIL money or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
I'm switching teams.
Somebody give him a deal, probably.
I know. But so we get to this point, and it's Halloween of 2019, and we're going to have basically what people refer to as a hate camp. We're going to be there training. I did some hand-to-hand combat training there. We'd already started doing firearms, but that Halloween night was a Thursday night in 2019. So we have a few drinks. I go back to my truck. I'm actually charging my phone up because the battery's dying. You know how it is when you go from like sleet, ice, freezing, cold, and you hop in that warm vehicle and you kind of just defrost and then you nod off a little bit. Mm-hmm. I nodded off a little bit. And I wake up to the pounding on my door because I was already Pale Horse by this time. I switched my code name. And they were like, Pale Horse, wake up. I'm like, man, what's going on? They're like, you got to see this. You're not going to believe it. I come out and they go, hey, remember us talking about sacrificing a goat? And I'm like, vaguely. And they're like, we got one. And I'm like, oh. They went, not far down the road.
Yeah.
To a guy who had 3. And turns out that he came out because he heard them. They were armed. They had their Flecktarn camo on with the balaclavas over their face. It's a wonder nobody didn't get shot right there. But they steal a goat or a ram. I don't know. I've asked people the difference. It was big. It had horns. I don't know if it was a goat or a ram. But they, I walk up and they're like, had it in the back of the truck. And one of the members who went by Dima says, man, this goat's shitting all over the truck. And I said, well, hell, I would be too if a bunch of Neanderthals with Flecktarn and balaclavas just jerked me out of the backyard at gunpoint. I'm like, daggum, you know? And then Eisen was going to be running the blot on this one. And I see him over there, and he's petting the goat. And he's it looks like he's showing it love and stuff. And I walked up, and I said, hey, man, is it bad that I feel sorry for the goat? He says, hey, Pale Horse, don't let her hear the goat.
Eisen was the guy's name?
Yeah, that was his code name. His real name was William Bilbro.
Oh. I was going to say, because Eisen sounds like a Jewish name. It seems like a weird name to have for that.
I think it was actually a rune. I can't remember what Eisen stands for. But anyway.
Eisen is German and Ashkenazi Jewish, surname meaning iron.
There you go.
Iron.
Eisen.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
So I didn't know that. So I should have looked that up. I spent 7 months with the guy.
Well, shit.
But I'll be like, oh, iron. I got it. So he says, hey, don't let the goat hear you say that. And I'm like, okay. He's like, this goat, we're showing this goat love. We're going to sacrifice it to start the wild hunt, and it's going to Valhalla. It's going to be with Odin tonight. This is a good thing for the goat. No negative energy, basically. And don't let the other people hear you with negative energy. I said, got it. Push that beach ball down. Never think of it again, underwater. Damn. Just go push it down. So I walk over to, let me say this. The wild hunt in Norse mythology is essentially Odin and other gods going out in the middle of the night and laying the smack down to all their enemies.
Okay.
But in the version of the white supremacy, He's saying that this sacrifice is going to start the wild hunt for us to cleanse the world of darkness. So if you're anti-fash and you are non-white, when Boogaloo happens, what they were saying is, if you were not fascist, you were automatically anti-fascist, and the penalty's death. I mean, these dudes would talk about shooting their own dads. Man. Like, I'd have to kill my dad if he doesn't switch to be fascist. I'm gonna have to kill my dad.
Wow.
And then one would be like, I'd cry myself to sleep if I did. And another would be like, well, I could never kill my parents, so you guys are way ahead of me. So you're hearing all this crazy stuff, and you're hearing Pat down under the barn saying, I'm a ghost. My life is over. I don't exist anymore.
Because that's the guy that got doxxed.
Doxxed out of Canada.
And so can't y'all bust the group at this point or no?
We could, but I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, as a case agent on long-term cases and as an undercover, that's the hardest decision. To decide when, do we have enough, or, this new guy just came in, one more buy and we can get, it's tough.
Yeah, because at what point are you just like playing house or whatever it almost seems like, or White House
Right,
anyway.
But what would we charge him with other than assisting getting an undocumented alien in right now? Right? Now, what charges are you going to come up with? Because there's no federal domestic terrorism charge.
Okay.
There are federal international terrorism charges, but there's not for domestic terrorism.
Got it.
So I'm hearing all this crazy stuff. Like, I mean, we can form, everybody's been doxxed. We can have like a staging location or a clubhouse somewhere where it's all us and we're all ghosts and we just go out and murder. I mean, it's talking about laying out like a homeless person, learning the pattern of the lefty journalist, and then just popping them in the back of the head with a 38 one day and just walk off.
Wow.
That's guerrilla, that kind of small hit kind of thing. So we've got them, and then we get to that Halloween weekend. So they tell me they got the goat, and I go to my listening device, and I'm like, hey, talking to the case, and I'm like, if you can hear me, I'm pretty sure we're getting to go down here and slaughter this animal. I'm racking my brain trying to think if there's anything. I'm definitely not seeing anything federal in my head, and I basically just tossed it to them. Do you want me to shut this thing down, or do you want me to just drive off, come up with a ruse and kind of drive off? Mm-hmm. I said, if you want me to, you need to let me know. And I waited, and I stared at my device, and I waited for my phone to ring. I waited, nothing. And I went, okay, I guess I'm heading down in the woods. So we head down. We carry the goat down. There's probably about 12 of us there. And Eisen.
Is the goat sleeping or it's loud?
No, we're walking it down, but
Oh, yeah.
So we get down there and
just doing goat shit.
Yeah, doing goat shit. Yeah. So we get down there to what was referred to as a holy spot. The torches are lit. Eisen leads the blot, talks about, hey, we're gonna sacrifice this goat to Odin. It's gonna go be with the elves and everything.
And is it pretty organized, or is the guy like reading notes off of his phone and
No,
shit?
he wasn't the best. Now the other guy I told you about when we were in the summer, I think he was a legit Asatru
Got it.
priest. I mean, it was led very well. This one was a little choppy,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Shit, but
bro. God dang.
But they're believing it.
Crazy,
they're
bro.
believing it, right? So then he has it's bigger than a machete, but it's not quite a sword, from what I remember. We're all around the goat. He's already given the whole speech about the wild hunt, and we're going to start killing all anti-fash and non-whites. Because if everybody's white, that'll definitely that'll solve the problem. No, it won't. No, it won't.
Crazy.
You're still going to be fighting.
Yeah.
You're still going to be cheating. Yeah. What are we talking about here? But so we're all in a circle around the goat, and somehow I ended up at the back legs. And he's already given the speech, and now he's got this blade, and he's bringing it back with his hands, and he's coming down, practice swing, taking a breath. You can hear somebody say, just do it, And he comes down, and I'm holding the back of that goat. He comes down with everything he's got, and all I heard was thunk. Bah. I don't think it broke a single hair. I don't know if the blade was dull or the back strap of the goat was so strong. And for that second, I was like, in that split second in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to get bloody because I'm holding it. And and then you hear, it may take 2 swings. Do it again. You're all yelling. And then somebody says, has anybody got a gun? I think it was Pestilence. Does anybody have a pistol? And
Pestilence.
The rule was we weren't supposed to bring any weapons down there, but the one guy, ZoomNat, says, I got mine. Me and Luke, TMB, both were looking at going, what? This is like the least qualified guy to be holding a weapon. This dude's been up for like 2 days straight on Adderall. He worked 3rd shift in Austin, Texas, and drove straight to Rome, Georgia. And I'm like, and not coordinated. I mean, gun stuff. I was like, oh my goodness, man, you're the last person down here.
What the heck, dude?
So he hands the pistol over. Luke takes it from him.
This is like Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah, yeah. So he takes the weapon, hands it to Eisen. Eisen chambers around, kind of points towards the goat, and then turns completely away to pull the trigger. And that's when the instructor in me, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
He's like, what? And I go, man, look at what you're shooting at, bro. We're all in a circle on our knees, man. He's like, oh, okay. I know, man.
I feel like this is a Larry David sketch,
I know.
dude.
I mean, part of you in the comical side, you're like, I'll let him go ahead and shoot. I'm over here. You know, he's aiming that way. Let's see who he takes out, you know. But yeah, so he puts one right in his head, and then it goes down and it twitches for a while. And I coaxed him to, I said, man, why don't you go ahead and put another round in it? Because it was debate of, is it after death twitches or is it still alive? I said, just go ahead and put it in. I said, for the sake of the goat, because you want it to show up happy, right? It's going, I mean, it's a good thing. I'm using his words against him.
Right, for sure. Let it get there quick.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I thought, so he did it, and then you could hear somebody say, now it's definitely dead. Oh, are we done? No. Now they slice the throat of the goat, fill up a cup full of blood.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, and we're all in a circle. And
is it warm out or cold out?
It is chill. It's cold.
Oh, that's better.
It's cold. Yeah, it's cold because whatever happened that Halloween in 2019, it had been like 60s or 70s, and that day a cold front came. It dropped to like 10. So we're down there, and they slice it. They fill the cup up with blood. Everybody's still in the circle except me. I'm holding a flashlight because Eisen decided to bring acid to help with the spiritual journey.
LSD?
Yeah.
Damn,
had a sheet. So
y'all all took a hit or what?
No, I didn't. And that was funny because they were like, one of the guys was like, hey, I'm a I don't know how we worded it. I'm a very experienced, highly experienced psychedelic or something. I'm a professional psychedelic. Because we think you'd really like this pale horse. I said, let me tell you something. You have no idea what's in my brain. You have no idea what I've done on this planet in my lifetime. I don't do that stuff. If somebody slips one on me and I go on a bad trip, every single one of you are going with me.
Damn.
You know, that's the only thing I do.
That's a good call. Yes, yeah. I'm going to use that.
And then one guy was like, yeah, don't do it. Don't put nothing in pale horse's drink. But I went around and I was shining, and he would tear a tab, put it under your tongue, chase it with the blood. Now we're signifying the sacrifice. We're closing the deal here.
Yeah, now you're a sig app.
Yeah, so now it gets to me, and I'm one of the last ones. Well, by the time it gets to me, Theo, I look down, and it is clotted. It is chunky. And I'm looking at it going, man, I really don't want to drink this, man. You know, I'm like, but I think pestilence, or I don't know if he said it or I thought of it, but I just stuck 2 fingers deep into the blood, pulled out my fingers and sucked the blood off my fingers.
Damn.
And luckily I'd carried a beer down there and I chased it with that.
What kind of beer was it?
That night it might have been Bud Light. Before the controversy.
Yeah. Oh, I think,
No, I think it was a Bud Light, but if it wasn't a Bud Light, it was a Yuengling Lager, which is what I like. That's
That's nice. Damn, brother. Y'all down there eating blood and freaking doing LSD. I mean, what in the fuck is going on?
I know, right? Dude? So we're supposed to get up the next day and train. No, training was shot.
What?
Because only like 2 or 3 people didn't do acid, and everybody else was up all night staring at a fire.
I don't even know what y'all are training for. This feels like the New York Jets kind of, dude. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
So they're like, we're not going to go handle weapons and be running across fields.
Yeah.
Because they'd been up all night and they were high. And I'm like, great. You just shot an entire day of training, you know? But I went to go get biscuits for everybody. I went to the Bojangles.
Ooh, they're good. I just had one the other day, actually.
Well, apparently in Rome, Georgia, Bojangles is where it's at because cars will be backed all the way down the main street, directly across the street from Bojangles with McDonald's. There was no cars in it. But I went and I picked up about 30 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. So I'm coming back, and all I can smell is that butter, that bacon, that cheese, and them eggs, and that biscuit.
God.
I go to get out of my truck. Punished Snake says, Pale Horse, you got to try this goat. It is good. He's been holding that raw goat over a fire. It was not prepared at all.
Oof.
I've had some gamey stuff in my life. That was the gamiest tasting meat I ever put in my daggone mouth.
Yeah.
And as soon as I started biting it, after smelling the butter and as soon as I bit into it, man, I was like, that's not too bad. As soon as he turned his head, I tossed it to the farm dogs. I was like,
yeah, dude, I've had bad meat on some LSD, and that's, You never forget that. You never forget that.
Jamie?
Yeah. I mean, I've eaten undercooked duck on LSD.
Yeah.
And I never forget that shit. Sometimes I'll still floss my teeth years later, even just to get I feel like some of it's still in there.
So after the sacrifice, they chopped the head of the goat off and we carried it around.
What the hell is
As a
going
matter of fact,
on, dude?
we took a picture because the recruitment process was this. Whatever new recruitment video we're doing has to be better than the last one.
Got it.
Every time the base got infiltrated by either a journalist or whatever, and their OPSEC got better and better. How did that happen? How did we get infiltrated? How do we stop it from happening again? Mm-hmm. So Saturday comes, now we can start training again. So we're out there shooting and running and stuff, and now it's warming back up. And we go down Saturday night to the holy spot and build a bonfire. We burn American flags. There it is. Now, here's the thing. He nicknamed that goat Gar. His name is William Garfield Bilbro. His grandfather's name is Garfield, so he named the goat Gar. So everybody talked about Gar after that. I am back row 2 left from the flag. You can see my neck. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's me right there.
Showing a little neck, huh?
Little neck. Well, yeah, the balaclava didn't go all the way down.
Dang.
Somebody should have caught that and been like, pale horse, your neck's showing.
You bought that baby clava with you,
I didn't know they give it to you. That's part of your initiation. When you made it in, they gave me the balaclava and the 3 runes.
That smaller clava they gave you, bro. That thing was a little small for you.
I got a horse head.
Oh yeah.
So then we go down and we burn American flags and we burn holy Bibles. I remember coming back after that weekend, and I remember just feeling kind of dirty. I mean, maybe that's because I'd been up for 4 days or whatever. I don't know, the rain and on and on. But just the act and just the feeling of it, I was like, man, I just feel weird.
Yeah, your spirit.
Yeah, because I'm like, yeah, that's it. Because I'm like, man, I come back to the office and I go, I've been working undercover since 1996, off and on. Started street level narcotics. I said, I have never had to burn American flags. I've never had to burn holy Bibles. And I definitely wasn't with a group of people that went and stole a goat, sacrificed it, and we drank his blood at a ritual, you know? Mm-hmm. Because even though they're saying pagan, some of those dudes are praying to Satan. Some of those dudes are praying to like Order of 9 Angles, where it's a lot more satanic.